Well, we're looking at talking about fueling edge to cloud digital transformation. And ladies and gentlemen, for that, we've got our speaker who's going to be joining us. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, for this tech talk, we've got our speaker, Ranganath Sadasiva, who's going to be joining us, the Chief Technology Officer, Hybrid IT, Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Well, Mr. Sadasiva has more than 25 years of experience in the technology industry. He's somebody who's an accomplished technologist and a management executive across core ICT technologies who has done customer centric roles across sales, product development, and consulting in India and the APAC region. So, thank you so much, Mr. Sadasiva, for joining us today. With this, I'd now request you to take the stage and screen. Over to you.
Thanks, Bhavna. It's an absolute pleasure to be back at the big CIO event. This is the second time that I'll be part of this particular show. Um, I'll be covering a couple of interesting topics for the day today, focusing on digital transformation, which is core to every organization. We are seeing a great sense of acceleration. What comes to mind is, if you're talking of acceleration or change of pace, rather the pace of change, we are talking of a very, very high pace today. But if you think about it, it perhaps is the slowest because it's going to get faster and faster as you go on. So in that context, there's a lot of technology help that's coming in from HP, and I want to focus on a few of them here. My name is Ranganath Sadasiva. I am the CTO for Hybrid IT products in HPE. Just before I kickstart, I wanted to kind of look at a couple of macro trends, nothing out of the ordinary here, right? These are trends that you're all aware of, but let's look at it from a different perspective, right? Digital transformation, what is it? It's happening at a very fast pace today, but it is a movement from ops to apps, as they say, right? From operations to applications. And the applications today are going to run across the entire enterprise, and they live everywhere, as they say. The other thing about applications, I don't know how much of applications you would be seeing today. There are a few hundreds of that on your phone. All of them are moving towards a technology called containers and microservices. That's a shift that you see. We talk of data explosion, but that's going to continue. Nobody can stop that. But how can we harness that is the question, right? And as we speak, our IT landscapes, the geography of our IT is actually becoming so complex. How do you manage this at the given time that we have? 24 hours doesn't change. And the imperatives that have flown in because of COVID is another aspect that one needs to look at. These are the kind of macro trends that we look, and there are solutions and technology that's moving towards a certain solutions that is important for us to keep note of. When I talked about this transformation and moving towards this hybrid cloud journey, we are talking of containers in a very, very big way. The growth of containers is happening for a period of time. It's going to hit about 1.8 billion this year. That's what the analysts say. 75% of the organizations would have deployed containers, right? So that's a part and parcel of everyone's strategy today. And then 54% of them would be on premises. So there is this huge growth around containers as a technology, which is taking applications to a new paradigm, new domain, if you were to look at it. So what's really happening in today's world? The efforts to digitize, the efforts to digitally transform is moving in a direction. But there are two different modes, I would say. One is all those applications which you have already developed using cloud as a technology. Right? These are cloud native, they have speed and agility. But if you look at the other stream here, this is predominantly where resides the applications that are part and parcel of your organization for ages today. And that is 70% of our apps. And those don't have a similar experience like you would have for cloud native technologies. So that becomes a huge issue for organizations. How do I ensure these two different speeds that I have for applications is normalized. Can I ever do it? That's the kind of question that we are looking at. To simplify this, when you're trying to look at transforming yourself around applications and to kind of get both of these streams to merge, I can clearly see that there are two work streams. One is a work stream that is cloud native, it is developed on the cloud, right? This is really taking advantage of the growth in public cloud as a technology, right? In the last decade or so, you're seeing a lot of those kind of applications. And as I said, there is this work stream too, where 70% of your workspace, your work applications are all straddled. These could be straddled because of the kind of data gravity that they have, the latency that is there between these applications. These applications could be all woven together. There are interconnects that are there. All of this ensure that it's difficult for these applications to move on to a cloud-like domain. But that's the challenge. And that is where I see that there is a transformation platform that is evolving today. And people are trying to transform these applications into the cloud native applications, because that's how the future would be. You would need your apps and data to reside everywhere. So in that context, that transformation needs to happen, right? What's the current problem today? You're having two of these work streams. So, two work streams, you have to have a double dip of cost there. The tools that are there in workstream one and the tools that are there in workstream two are two different ones. There are silos that are emerging. There is lack of talent between the two work streams that are there. So in all of this, there is scope for us to transform. And that is the biggest challenge that we need to address. If we're able to do that, we can essentially create two highways for both the modern cloud experience as well as the on-prem applications that are there. So you'll be able to provide that application smoothness, the agility, the experience that, as we say, for both your apps and data together, right? That is where we see a great opportunity, and that is where we see organizations wanting some help. But it's not easy to actually get onto a bandwagon like that. There are certain challenges. Let me list a few of them. And these are something that you will really realize in your journeys like this. Firstly, we talk about a hybrid world, but it is moving towards a multi-cloud environment. Can I control my entire real estate of IT through a control plane, right? Am I able to automate that control plane? Am I able to leverage this multi-geography architecture that I have in my IT? Then I talk about these applications. 70% of my applications are resident, on-prem or at the edge or in a colo location. Can I rewrite these applications? It's very, very difficult to rewrite an application and then modernize that application, right? Can I have an ability to kind of look at these applications to run simultaneously on a single platform? Big ask, right? That's the question people are asking today. When we're talking of these legacy applications, they are all tied to storage. We talked about the latency of storage. We talked about the intricacies of the applications. How can you provide this in a container world? How can you provide persistent storage with Kubernetes, right? Can I create a data plane for getting data across? The last point perhaps is this really enterprise grade? Because we're talking of large organizations with complex workloads, complex applications, right? Can I do that at the least available cost, right? So that is where solutions are asked, and that is where HP actually put their heads together and came out with HPE Ezmeral. Ezmeral is a Spanish word for emerald. It is basically representative of the fact that it has got immense capabilities of transforming various landscapes together. That's the kind of belief that they have around Ezmeral or emerald as an entity, and that's why the name. So what is that promise that HP brings to the table? We bring you the promise of running, managing, controlling, and securing your apps and data wherever you run that, right? Whether it is on the edge or on the cloud. Your apps and data, which is key, as I said, for any digital transformation, we allow you to do that free-flowingly with the managed control that is absolutely needed. This actually creates a transformation because if you're able to look at your applications, you're able to accelerate time to value. If you're looking at data, you can unlock insights. If you're looking at operations, you can boost efficiency, right? That's the power of Ezmeral, in a data transformation journey. Looking a little deeper, running. You could run your applications, your containerized applications on VMs or on bare metals and unlock your insights wherever your entity resides, right? Whether it is on the edge or on the cloud or on-prem as well. Manage all of the resources that is there. Your applications or data can be ubiquitously managed by the HP Ezmeral platform. And how do you manage that? With a lot of intelligence, with artificial intelligence, and it is completely something that's data driven as well. Control. In a world where you're spreading out your infrastructure across the board, you need to have control, which could be controls in terms of security, controls in terms of cost. How do you do that? And last but not the least is secure. As in when you spread your enterprises across various domains, you need to ensure security is inbuilt into every aspect of it. How do you do that, right? In the umbrella of these four constituents, HP Ezmeral really creates the data-driven transformation experience that everyone is looking forward to. So what does this entire portfolio look like? Here is a representative diagram of how this all looks like, the heart of which is essentially the HP Ezmeral container platform. This is the platform that gives open source Kubernetes for all your applications to ensure that you have the best of breed Kubernetes deployment for all the kind of new workloads that are coming up today. This is tied together with a lot of control elements, right, which allow you to manage this entire control aspects, which could be security, which could be in terms of user experience, getting user control. All of this framework for the entire container orchestration is done within the Ezmeral framework here. We add to this an element called as Ezmeral Data Fabric, right? This is the data aspect of enterprises today. You could have data in various sources, in various sizes, capacities, formats. Am I able to actually put all of them together and create a fabric? That is what HP Ezmeral Data Fabric provides and works very hand in hand for getting that persistent storage capability for containerized applications. If you're looking at that data, if you're looking at containers, obviously you're looking at AI ML capabilities, which can enhance the entire gambit of requirements for organizations today. People are looking at harnessing data, as I told you. And that's where ML Ops, which essentially ensures your entire AI ML workloads are optimized for time and results and delivered to you, right? These are the core elements of it. But add to that the other portfolio that enables this core, right? If you're looking at cost and control, we have a tool called HP Managed Cloud Controls, which allows you to manage costs across on-prem, off-prem, the deployments that you would want to choose and give you a clear line of sight for whatever is the application that is available in your domain. Then talking about security, Spiffy and Spire are two open source contributions from an HPE perspective, which allow you to kind of control and provide security for your set of applications, whether it's on-prem or on the cloud as well. And with infrastructure components that HP has, whether it is HP OneView, which gives you a clear composability of resources that you would want, or InfoSight, which is AI operations for you, these all constitute an umbrella of solutions which put together a software stack and then the control to your hardware stack, and obviously things that are needed from an audit perspective, from a security perspective, all included. We include this as offerings that can go directly to customers, or it could be in our consumption model, which is called HPE GreenLake. And the services around this could be done by you, or it could be done by Pointnext. So it is a composite software portfolio enabling you to handle your applications and data together. And this could be anywhere. As I said, it works across the board. If you were to kind of look at it a little more deeper, there is a story behind each one of this here. But if you look at the set of people we can really serve to, whether it is data engineers or app developers or DevOps, we are creating a software platform which is open source Kubernetes based, right? We can support multiple versions of CNCF certified Kubernetes here. It comes with the right kind of support from an HPE perspective. And it is open source, yes, but it is coming in a framework of enterprise integrations and security for you. As I said, right, if you're looking at security, whether it is your integration with Active Directories or LDAP, or any kind of encryptions or SSO kind of certifications that are there, it's all integrated in the frame. So the best of open source available Kubernetes is available to you. There isn't any kind of parameterization saying that this is the best for you. It is perhaps the most democratic way of looking at Kubernetes deployment today, if you ask me. I'm always reminded, right? You go to a toy store with your kid and you say, you buy this toy, versus saying that you buy any toy in the store, it comes with the warranty guarantee that is needed. So this is absolutely liberated versions of Kubernetes instead of somebody prejudging that this is the best version for you, right? The entire control plane is also integrated here, in terms of looking at multi-tenancy, the self-service capabilities, whether it is deployment of hardware, whether it is the use of resources, the GPU, CPU resources that is there. Uh, and on top, you see what is called the App Store. And here you will find all the frequently used applications for your data engineers, data scientists, and app developers available, right? You could also bring in your own data services if need be, and there is options for that as well. So best of breed resources that is there, you can just pull in and create a pipeline for yourself and go ahead and do this, right? And underlying to this is around data. And when you're talking of data, Ezmeral Data Fabric really is the global data fabric. Irrespective of wherever you have data, it is able to amalgamate all of those resources and create a data plane for you, right? It is software defined, it is high performance, it supports various protocols, NFS, HDFS, and other things like that. If you're looking at that, you could use that. If there are other options of connecting to data as well, which we support through the platform. And this is one single platform that can be used across the geography of your IT landscape, whether it is the edge, the compute, or the public cloud. So if you look at, where are we heading to with the Ezmeral platform, it is one single platform that is taking care of your applications and various personas who are using these applications. It is taking care of your data, irrespective of wherever the data resides, and it is taking care of the location wherever you're keeping your data. That's the power of Ezmeral, software platform, which gives you the independence today to kind of implement your apps and data wherever you want. So where are the kind of use cases that we are showing, right? As I said, if you're focusing on AI ML, you could essentially use the resources of an app store, build, train, and deploy various AI ML projects, right? With ML Ops, we're able to kind of bring all of this together, shrink wrap it like a DevOps model, and create AI ML, formats for you that enable easy implementation of AI ML. Then it could be a typical CI/CD pipeline, in a DevOps world where you're building, shipping, and running your applications. All the tools that are very popular are available with us. You could get tools from other places as well. Ensures that your entire CI/CD pipelines are really taking shape in a very quick way. Then we talk of app modernization. When you're talking of app modernization, it could be legacy applications that can be modernized to containers. We are seeing a lot of them move from a virtualized world to containers as well. So irrespective of where you want to move into a containerized world, we have the entire framework that allows you to do that. There are certain technology elements, I can call out Cube Director, which helps in the entire modernization process. Obviously, not all applications can be modernized. You have to do a DNA analysis of all of that and then take a call. But this framework really allows you to do that. Last but not the least is the ability to manage your resources across various platforms. I keep calling this the geography, right? Geography of IT landscape, whether it is here at the edge, which we all know is going to grow. So you'll be seeing a lot of edge related data or applications that will start residing there. And then up to the cloud or a multi-cloud today, you are able to manage all of your resources using the container platform. So a very comprehensive and compelling set of reasons to actually look at the container platform. If I were to kind of look at the key differentiators, I think firstly, this is enterprise class. We're talking of absolutely, looking at open source being deployed for enterprise customers with the security and authenticity that's needed. It's across, the hybrid from edge to cloud. So, you're looking at one single control plane that manages your infrastructure across the board. You could have multi-tenancy built into this. So, you get the control for every tenant that you have, which could be organizational, within organizations or others as well. And it could be across your on-prem or on the cloud. Then the data fabric, which gives you I mean, stupendous independence in terms of assimilating all your storage assets into a data plane, right? That's the fully integrated data fabric that we have. And as I said, it is based on 100% open source Kubernetes. And that gives you the freedom for you to deploy what's really the best. We all know how open source has evolved today. And it's not that it is like a pure open source as well, right? There is elements that help you for an easy deployment, whether it is the security aspect, the control plane, the way you want to do your day zero, day one operations, all of that is integrated onto that. Connectivity to external data, if you're wanting data to come in from other sources as well, you can do that. So, and from a TCO standpoint, we look at bare metal containerization as something that enables you to wade away with so many other costs. Typically when you're looking at bare metal containerization, you are not talking of virtualizing your application. So that means better performance, better cost, better TCO. So these are some of the aspects about the HPE Ezmeral Data Fabric and data container platform that I wanted to bring to your notice. Um, what we also did very recently, and you would have seen HP really announce quite a few strategic announcements in the last 15 to 30 days, I would say. One which I would want to introduce you to, which continues the story of how can you digitally transform from edge to cloud, is the storage aspect. Where we have really changed the game. It's a paradigm shift in terms of how to look at storage and how storage is getting deployed. We are trying to focus on the data management of storage. Typically, the focus was about how do you increase the storage capacity, how do you increase your performance of your data. All of that now is just taking a transformed view. We're talking of data management of the entirety. What does this really mean? Um, we look at three aspects, three forces, I would say. One is data that really comes your way, and the agility of cloud. How do you handle data with the agility of cloud today, the cloud experience as we call it, and all of that with artificial intelligence built into it, right? Can we use these disruptive forces together and recreate history from a storage perspective is what we are aiming at. And the way we do that comes in the form of our vision for unified data operations. We want to look at data and provide operations to that data, whether it is in terms of allocation of the data, whether it is taking a backup of it, creating a disaster tolerant solution. We want to ensure all of that is unified, and we are able to do that. What are the key tenets? As I said, it has data centricity, it's got the control and operational efficiency of cloud. It is completely intelligence driven. The entire infrastructure, the analytics is all being used to ensure that you're moving towards autonomous way of deploying things. That drives towards a data driven transformation, right? Two products that we announced during the same time frame was one, this control plane, which is called the Data Service Cloud Console, DSCC, and a product which is a cloud native storage array called HP Electra. So these actually enable our vision of creating data management forever, right? And when we look at this, what are we trying to do with this? We want to reimagine your data experience, simplify the data infrastructure that is there, because you're having the capabilities of AI and you're able to manage the entire infrastructure together. Empower data innovators, because you're able to use data as and when you want, for whichever reason it is, for whichever persona, as I said. And the management of data is all integrated. You really don't have to go and manage every device in your organization. There is one single control plane, and you're able to manage various data devices out of it. Protect data everywhere. Wherever the data is there, you create policies, and within the gambit of the console, you're able to protect them and eliminate all the app disruptions. That's what we do with this. It's a total new way of looking at data and moving away from the siloed approach of looking at storage devices, managing every storage devices, versus looking at a cloud console, which is essentially a SaaS-based control plane that we have, and anybody can log in from anywhere. Any persona can log in from anywhere and deploy the various services. As I said, it could be in the form of creating, whatever LUN, or creating some resources for that. The provisioning aspect, we call this intent-based provisioning here. We do all of that. So, from an HPE stack perspective, the vision of software, the vision of how do we handle storage, And finally, the vision of looking at compute, which becomes very important as well, right? I believe all the digital transformation have workloads ultimately, and they have to optimally deploy, whether it is here on-prem or on the cloud. So we have the options there, and we made some announcements around this. We essentially focus on the workloads that prevail in the marketplace today, and ensure that we deliver the right kind of compute resources, for everything as a service, right? So when you're looking at that transformatory journey, when you're looking at how HP does it from a compute perspective, so we have broken that down into the workloads, as I said, the modern workloads that I spoke of across those two bridges. So for every workload, you need different kind of compute resources. There is an optimization that we have built in. We talked about security, which is security not only across the periphery, but also security at a device level, right? We are able to bring in elements of security which ensure that it is hardwired into the server itself. Intelligent automation to go ahead with all the other automation stacks that we have built in. Last but not the least is everything as a service. So a portfolio of things that we have put together, obviously much more to delve with, but just a quick introduction to all of that. Finally, to conclude, it's your data, it's your agility, it's your innovation, and we will ensure that you unleash it till the last, right? With that, thanks very much for a patient hearing. Please take care, stay safe, mask up, and get your vaccinations done whenever it's possible. Thank you very much.